Happy Tuesday. It's my Monday. Good morning to you. You live in a shoe. Tucker, you live in a shoe. He said, I don't live in a shoe, Dad. Okay, can I just tell you something? I am right now burning this. I'll show you which one. This. You see, I got it last night, this Yankee Candle one. It's called Autumn Wreath. It smells so good, but it's total junk. Like, it does not smell at all. And I paid so much money for that one. It was $1.99. You can get, for $2.99 or $2, you can get a whole thing that'll last you like for 6 of them. I was so pissed about it. I'm sorry, but I'm cleaning up after I made videos. So I was like, that is such crap. Wouldn't that piss you off? It pissed me off. What is in here? No. Blue nail polish. I was making my videos. I told you all that. But anyway. Good morning to you. You live in a shoe. Well, I made my videos today. I've already had my dinner. Would you guys like to see what I have for dinner tonight? I will show you. So I had 2 of these Barilla Italian style entree spicy marinara penne, 300 calories, 4.5 grams of fat, lots of carbs. So if you're doing low carb, it's not for you. 5 grams of fiber, 6 sugars, and 10 grams of protein. So since I'm counting calories, it's good for me. I know everybody's going to have things to say about that in the comment section below, but it's just about not snacking to me. If I could just like eat and be done for the rest of the day, then that would be great, but good morning to you. How are you guys doing today? I'm like going in and deleting emails right now because I have so many. I don't know what's going on with this one email account that I have. It's stupid. It's being stupid. Oh my Lord. How can I have so many? I have so many emails. Oh my Lord. I'm getting ready to go on the front porch and watch my video and then post it. And I'm putting out my so-called healthy life video right now, and then my booktube one. And then that will be it. And then I don't know what I'm going to do. I may go for a swim, or I may take a nap. Not really sure. Anyway, that's about it. Alright, you guys. I'll be back in a little while. Love you. Hello. It's late, it's 20 after 1, and it is muggy as hell out tonight. It's 76 degrees, and it is so muggy. It's just like, I feel like, ugh. I was outside doing a YouNow stream, and I just felt completely just like muggy. Completely muggy, oh my God. How are you guys doing? Are you guys having a good day so far? I did a little bit of a vlog earlier, but not much. My plan was to vlog throughout the whole day, and that didn't happen. I say that every day. I ended up posting my videos, and then what did I do after that? I had already eaten my dinner, but okay, so I got this stuff, and it's like, I know this is probably so unhealthy for me, but it's called Muscle Mac. Have you guys heard of this? It's like those macaroni and cheese cups. It's like 390 calories, but it's like 20 grams of protein, and it's basically like this, you just put water in this cheesy, I mean, it's so bad for me, I'm sure, right? But I was so craving macaroni and cheese. It was so delicious, you guys. It was like, I love the fishes because they're so delicious. Do you guys remember that ad? It was so good for just this like processed mac and cheese. So yeah, so that was what I had. Well, I had that for dinner, but like after dinner, like my second dinner. It was not a good food day for me. I didn't go over my calories. I actually ate below my calories today, but put the air on a little bit. It's hot in here. Yeah, I ate below my calories, but I found myself being like super hungry today. It was interesting tonight. I was just thinking about this as I was driving, because like I was driving by McDonald's, and it's like I really have not had a hard time like not eating fast food. Like and I've had like the night that Tanya and I went to Denny's and all that kind of stuff, but like I've had like one night, but other than that, like I really haven't craved. I guess I went to Steak and Shake too. I'm really showing my ass, aren't I? But like I really haven't craved going through fast food late at night, which for me was such a habit. And I mean, we're now on I've gone through 14 days now of, this journey. And the other thing is, like, I was thinking about this tonight when I was like standing in the bathroom. I was like putting on my hat to like leave and vlog, and I'm gonna go to Meijer. And I was like, my chapstick is so gone. And I was like, Peter, you have 9 million chapsticks at home that people have sent you, and you have one in your car, and it's literally so done. Can you guys see it? You probably can't see it, but it's like, the plastic is like, you can't even, it hurts to put on. I need to just pitch it. But I was standing in the bathroom, and I was like, emotionally, I missed getting like a fountain pop and like driving around with it. But what was so funny is, like, as I was talking about it, like my stomach started kind of hurting. Like, I don't physically crave a fountain Coke at all. In fact, it's probably the opposite. Like I was thinking about like how a Diet Coke tastes, and it's like, it kind of started making my stomach hurt. It's very similar. It's interesting because it's very similar to like after I got sober, like a year later. Not at first. At first, I was like really craving alcohol, but like a year later, like I would think about like drinking, and it almost kind of like physically made me sick to just eat, especially certain kind of liquors. Like I was a Jack and Coke drinker. I strictly drank Jack and Coke, and so I loved whiskey, and like whiskey or tequila, and I was never a tequila drinker, but tequila, like, or whiskey, the smell of it, like, almost would make me kind of vomit. Now it's interesting. I like the smell of red wine. I don't have a problem with red wine at all. What I really can't stand is the smell of white wine. And I don't know if it reminds me of when I was a kid growing up, like with my mom, because my mom would drink white wine in the evening. Like, she would always have like she never spent a lot of money on alcohol. My father spent a lot of money on alcohol. He always had good liquor at his house, Tanqueray gin and Absolute vodka. I mean, he always had top, shelf brand alcohol, but not my mother. She spent very little, and so she would have like those Gallo jugs of like wine in the fridge. Like when she was like watching a movie, she'd have like glasses of wine and stuff. Or I don't know why I just remember this. My mom would drink wine on ice. Do people do that? Like in like a cocktail glass with like ice? My mom would drink wine with ice. Ugh, just sounds so sugary sweet to me. But then my mother's perfume, like growing up, like I think she wore, like my mom wore exclusively Chanel No. 5 for a long time. And then as I got older, she changed. She wore this perfume called Zen. And then probably the last 10 years of her life, she wore Michael Kors. And I love the smell of Michael Kors, but I can spot it a mile away. When somebody has it on, I'm like, oh my God, where is my mom here? Like, it smells, and like, that is all I smell when I smell it, is my mom. And, the one that comes in, the bottle looks identical to the bottle because she's the one that bought me Michael Kors for Men, and that's like kind of my signature scent. If you guys want to know what I smell like, go to like Perfume Annie doesn't have it, but like Macy's, Von Maur has it, Saks does not have it. Most major department stores are kind of like middle grade, like Macy's. They typically have it. It's Michael Kors for Men, and it's a clear bottle, and it's like the liquid looks like whiskey, and then it's a black top on it, and you'll smell what I smell like. That's what I smell like. I wear it every day. I mean, it's like my signature scent. I do sometimes go back and forth between Chanel Blue, Chanel Egoist, Spice Bomb. I like. You guys are like, what is that? Anything to do with anything? If I could afford it, I would wear Creed. So if I have a rich patron out there that wants to buy me some cologne, and I'm dead serious, okay? I'm going to talk about this in a second, but I love Creed Aventura and Creed Oud. I also love, oh my God, Bond No. 9 Bleecker Street is like one of my favorite scents in the entire world. And I love the Tom Ford like the vanilla tobacco one, like that is tobacco vanilla or something like that. But I can't afford them. They're $300, $200 a bottle. So if you're out there and you just have all kinds of money and you'd like to gift somebody, you know, that would be, you can feel free to buy me some. It was interesting because I was like, this is what I was going to say today. You know, it's like I come out against all of these channels that have Patreon accounts, and, you know, like they say, oh, like, well, I can't afford to live unless I'm making these videos. Simply Kenna said that when she monetized her apology video, and, you know, blah, 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 and all this kind of stuff. And I was sitting there today and I was watching this. Vegan Cheetah, he was like in his live stream tonight, and he got like 3 million likes, which probably comes out to like $6,000 in one live stream. And I'm sitting there and I'm watching this. And other people that just get like, and people are generous with me. I'm not saying they're not. People are very, very generous with me. And it's, I mean, there's several people that are consistently generous with me, and it's so kind. But I was thinking about all of these people that make YouTube their career, you know, like they legit, and I'm a bad businessman. I just am. I always have been. When I was in private practice, I mean, if I had clients that would say to me 5 weeks in a row they forgot their checkbook, like, I would just be like, I mean, I never had a secretary, so, you know, I would be like, oh, okay, I totally understand. And in my head, I'd be kind of like, seriously, like, they forgot again, you know, like, and then, like, one day I just would not see them anymore. And I probably should have filed civil lawsuits and stuff, but I never did, because I just felt bad for people and thought, well, they probably couldn't afford it, and it's not going to kill me to give away some services. And I mean, I'm like so many thousands of dollars in the hole at this point from money that people owe me over the years that I'm just kind of like, I'm not a good businessman. I'm not good about asking for that. And it was interesting because when we started seeing our counselor, like one of the things that he does is when we walk in a door, he's like, let's just get the, he said this the first session and now it's just a given. He's like, let's just get the payment out of the way. And I never did that. I always said, pay me at the end. And, you know, I looked at him and I said, I really like that you do that. It kind of just gets it out of the way. He's like, yeah, I totally agree. Then we don't have to talk about money later, and however the session ends is how it ends. But see, I'm not a good businessman. Well, the reality is I could probably make YouTube my career. I really could, you know? And if I was, but not off of AdSense money. I don't make that kind of money off of AdSense money. But if I had a Patreon account and I was begging people for money in live streams, I could easily make YouTube my full-time career. Easily. You know, I mean, I have more subs than most of these people that are living full-time off of YouTube. I mean, I could do it, but like, I don't. And I guess that you kind of have to be that person that's going to beg people for money or say, like, I really need money, you guys, because this is now my full-time job, so I hope you understand. Or, you know, like, hey, I have doctor bills, or hey, I have this. But, like, I don't feel like that's your responsibility, you know? Like, I really don't. If people want to give me a lot of money and it got to the point where I could quit my other stuff, I don't know that I would. I mean, I love what I do. I've worked very hard to have my career. But would I be, if I could just sit at home and make YouTube my full-time career and just think up more powerful, awesome content to do on a regular basis, I would. It was funny because somebody said to me the other day, they were like, if you had a Patreon, like, what could you possibly put on a Patreon account? Like, you give everything away. Like, you do a vlog, you talk about everything in your vlog, and, you know, you have your weight loss channel, so you're talking about that. So really what you know, you have your main channel where you do humor, and you have a booktube channel. So basically, if I was going to do a Patreon, which I'm not thinking about it, I'm really pissed, honestly, that, like, I said so much shit about people that started here's the issue, okay? I have an issue with, like Martin Lewis, who's a friend of mine that does Patreon. Like, he does not make that much money off of YouTube, so for him to live and be able to full-time as an artist, and he does a lot of videos that I would consider more artistic than what I do, okay? So, like, I mean, he does a lot of, like, animation, and he does a lot of editing and things like that. For him to devote full-time to doing that, he has to have things like a Patreon, and I totally understand that, and he gives away a lot of stuff. What I have an issue with is the people that are already making $500,000 a year on YouTube, and they're so greedy that they need to have a Patreon to make more money off of it so that they can have nicer things and travel more. And I mean, wouldn't we all like that? But go get a second job. It's not like, you know, okay, so YouTube is your main job, go get a second job for that. But, like, I'm kind of pissed that I said all this negative shit about Patreon, because if I just had my mouth shut, I could have, if 1,000 people a month gave me $1. And I don't know, I got on there once a week and did something hilarious for $1 a month. I mean, that's $1,000 extra dollars a month I could have. I was stupid. Why did I say anything about it? You know, I should just let people do their thing. I don't know. What do you guys think about the Patreons? Leave it in the comment section below. So the Patreon is basically, it's like GoFundMe kind of, but it's more of like a monthly service. And people can, there's different levels that you can pay. And it's like a membership service. And then they get like different things. And basically what it's saying is it's not just YouTubers, it's all kind of platforms. You're basically supporting this person financially to help them. You're sponsoring them. It's sponsorship, like dance troops, dance groups, you know, other artists, things like that, that you're basically sponsoring them so that they can live and do what they love creatively. What I have an issue with is like Kendall Ray saying $50 for a Twitter follow. I think that's bullshit. Like, I don't know, I just think it's really disingenuous. But I don't know what I would give away if I did it. I don't know. I love doing this so much. Like, I just love making videos and interacting with you guys. I love getting on the live streams. I just, I sometimes, like, the money is such an afterthought to me that I guess maybe I need to really consider it more. I don't know. Like, does that make any sense? Like, I know that sounds bad, but, like, I do it because I love it. But I'm putting in just as much or more time and energy than a lot of these people are, you guys. Like, most of these people are posting once, maybe twice a week on YouTube. I'm getting on YouNow for hours every day, posting 4 videos a day, and I have a full-time career. And they're living completely off of YouTube, so I don't know. I'm not bitter about it. I guess I'm a little jealous, if truth be told, that would be nice, you know? But it is what it is. I do okay. I mean, like, I do make money off of it, and it's nice extra money, you know? But I don't know. Maybe I need to be honest about it. I guess it is kind of my dream to live full-time off of YouTube. I would love to do that. I sit and I say on videos, who wouldn't love to do that? I mean, I guess I really would like to do that. I mean, if I could say, hey, I'm going to close down shop and just exclusively take projects that every once in a while seem really exciting to me through, word of mouth, but other than that, I'm not going to do it anymore. I'm just going to do YouTube exclusively and work on my books. I would love that, but I have such a hard time asking people for help. I really do, like, I just really have a hard time doing that. When I left my treatment program, I'm like in my head, like, should I tell this story? When I left the treatment program that I was working at, excuse me, I had this woman that was very kind to me, and we become friends. And she was well off, very well off. And she had me over to her house for dinner one night, and she said, I really want you to go into private practice. And I was like, I can't afford to do that, blah, 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 whatever. And she was like, what do you make a year? And I was like, that's not the point. The point is, I could not live. I need health care, for my epilepsy and things like that. And she said to me, okay, so how much do you need a year? Like, how much would you need a year? And I said, I don't understand what you're asking. She goes, if I was going to financially help you out for a year, just 1 year, to help you get on your feet, okay, and build your practice, what would you need? And I said, I can't ask you for that. I said, I could never pay you back. And she said, I wouldn't ask you to pay me back. It would be a gift. She said, Peter, I believe enough in you. I think you have enough that you need to be putting out there in private practice to be helping people individually, because I think you're so fantastic. She was like, I really love what you do. I love your heart. I love your compassion. She's like, but you're not happy doing what you're doing anymore, and I want you somewhere where you're happy, where you're helping other people, and you're doing what you love. And I said, okay. And so she said, so how much would it take? And I said, I'm not going to ask that of you. I could never ask that of anybody. And she slid a piece of paper over me, right? I'll never forget this. She was like, she was there drinking a glass of wine, this amazing house, brick wall, and this like huge flat screen TV, I mean, like literally 20 feet across, just comes out. She's such a neat woman, just such an awesome woman. And told me all these great stories that night about things that she had learned in her life. I have been really blessed in my life to have a lot of angels, you know, angels here on earth. And this was in January. Oh no, this was in December. And so she had gotten me like special lemonade, like from Whole Foods, because she knew I didn't drink. And we had like this quiche. She made this quiche, homemade quiche, and it just was such a neat night. She had all this huge cheese tray, and she had a fire burning. It was just such a cool night. And so she pushes this piece of paper over to me with a pen. She says, write down what you think you would need. A month, she says. And I said, she goes, no, first, she goes, write down what you would need a month and then what you would need total, including like paying taxes the following year, healthcare, and all that kind of stuff. I said, I can't do that. She said, shut up, and she pushed the sheet over to me. She said, let me ask you something, Peter. What's the worst thing that can happen by you writing down a number? And I said, I don't know. She goes, no, seriously, what's the worst thing that could happen? And I said, I guess I'd be embarrassed, and you'd say no. She goes, so the worst that could happen is you're ashamed, you're embarrassed, and you say no, and I say no, right? She goes, what's the best thing that could happen as a result of it? And I said, you could say yes. And she said, what do you have to lose? She said, you know, sometimes you have to take risks in life, and some risks are really beneficial to your life. And so I looked down at that piece of paper, and I thought about what my salary had been, and then I added up what I would need for healthcare every month, because I'd be paying it on my own, and what I would have to pay in taxes the following year. And I wrote down that number, and baby, it was not small, okay? I mean, you can just imagine. I mean, it was a number. Let's just be for real, okay? And because I was like, if she's really serious about this, I've got to make sure that my needs are taken care of, right? And so I folded the piece of paper and I pushed it over to her. And she picked it up and she said, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide this by 12 months. And then next week, I'll have a check to you. She goes, I want you to put your resignation in next week. I was like, are you serious? She's like, absolutely. She's like, I want to do this. She's like, this is a gift that I can afford. Allow me to do this. So I put in my resignation. And I was so scared about leaving that place. And even with this money coming, I didn't know, well, maybe next month she's going to be crazy. She's not, you know, she won't give it to me next month, then I'm fucked. You know, I don't know what to do. She didn't. She held to her bargain the entire 12 months and the tax money. I mean, she held to her bargain. But I'm crying because 2 weeks after I left the treatment center that I worked in, my mom went into the hospital. And I had to be there every day. And it was such an honor to be with my mother for the 3 months that she was in a coma, in and out of it, and that she passed away. And had that woman never given me that money, I would never have had the opportunity to do that, you know, like, I would have had to have worked every day while setting up my private practice. I would never have been able to be at the hospital. I would never have been able to be with my mom on the moments that she was conscious, one of which I just happened to be there. And she came out and she said, I think that we need to have that talk. I wouldn't have been there that day to have the last talk with my mom. This woman gave me so much more than money, and she has no idea, you know. And I'll never forget when she showed up at my mom's viewing, and I just looked at her and I was like, you're such an angel and you don't even know it, you know. And she said, Peter, she said, people have been so good to me in my life. Please allow me to be good to you, you know. And she's just such a fantastic woman. And I started taking some risks with people. I started allowing myself to trust people, you know? And she really taught me that. And she allowed me to be with my mother. She gave me that honor, you know? She just was a wonderful woman. She is a wonderful woman. And very cool, too. Very, very, very cool. And, so yeah. I think there are angels that walk among us, you know? And I don't think they always walk among us in the tune of a lot of money. You know, that wasn't what it was about for her. It was about her caring about another human being. And I have met, I mean, I'm telling you, when my mom was sick, there were people that didn't even really know my mom that well. I mean, there were women from her 12-step program that didn't really even know her that came and sat with her. I mean, we had, I'm not lying to you, we had for 3 months, okay? For 3 months, we had 24 hours somebody sitting with my mother. I did not know half of these people. My aunt and my mom's best friend arranged most of this. And, I mean, just somebody that gives 8 hours of one day of their life, let alone 3 days a week or something, you know? I mean, that's just crazy to me. And I think that's who I aspire to want to be. You know, it's like that day that I was like so full of self and, you know, I was bitching and moaning to Tanya, and I said to her, what did you do today? And she said she went out to her friend's house who, one of Tanya's best friends, her husband died of brain cancer. And it was near the end. And Tanya said, I went out there and I cleaned the house and I let them watch movies all afternoon and spend time together and sit on the porch, and I cleaned their house and I made them dinner. And I said, how do you become that person? And she said, that's who I was taught to be, you know? I mean, no questions asked. That's who I was taught to be. And Tanya challenges me to want to be a better person. Alex's mother challenges me to want to be a better person. I mean, Alex's mother is one of the most unselfish people I've ever met in my entire life. Would do anything for her kids and her grandkids. And I've never witnessed motherhood like that before in my entire life. And I'm telling you right now, I came from a mama bear, okay? My mother, I mean, she was a mama bear, but I have never seen anybody that would do these things, you know? And it's like, I feel like I'm a good person today. I feel like I'm compassionate and kind. I feel like I remain teachable because I always want to grow. But I think I had good parenting and I had amazing role models. But I always had to fight that selfishness, which I think is part of my addiction. And I always had to fight, I mean, you know, like if it was between, I'm just being honest, okay? Back in the day, if it was between me going and cleaning my friend's house that was dying, or, you know, I don't know, going to see a movie, I think I'd be like, God, I know I should, but like I don't really want to, and it's so depressing, and would they really, and then I would turn it into, would they really want me there, and I don't want to be intrusive. I would totally turn it and make it on me. Now, I'm not that person today. I've turned that shit around, okay? And Tanya and losing my mother have been the two factors in my life that have forced me to take a look at my behaviors, you know? My mother was somebody that if a neighbor down the street died and she didn't know who they were and she didn't care and all that kind of stuff, baby, she baked them a banana bread or an orange bread and she wrapped it up and she took it down there with, 20 chocolate chip cookies. That's what you did. That's what you did when my mom grew up, and that's who she was, you know? You showed up for viewings even if you didn't know anybody. Why? I would say that to my mom. Why? You don't know her. It's not for her. It's for her family. You go to support her family, Peter. You know, and it's like we need to get back to that small town mentality, you know, of treating people the way that we want to be treated and doing the right thing. Not because it's popular, not because it's the right thing, but just because we should. You know, just because we want to be good human beings, just because we want to treat people a little bit better every day than we did yesterday. And I think that's okay. And that's who I aim to be. That's who I want to be, you know? But I'm not there yet. It's some work, you know? I'm still super selfish. I try to to force myself every day to do one thing to get me out of self so that I get in the ritual of doing that, you know? And it's real easy. It can be anything from buying the person behind you coffee to putting extra coins in the meter for the person when you leave, the next person that parks there, to opening a door for somebody, to just telling somebody. I mean, this girl, I was at this gas station the other day. I was getting up there getting a bottle of water. And I mean, she was working there. I mean, working at a gas station. There's 20 people in line bitching and moaning about how long it's taking, right? I noticed 3 people ahead of her. She told me my green shirt looked nice. I noticed that every person that came up there, she complimented them about something. And I said to her when I got up there, she goes, oh, I love that green shirt. It looks so good with your eyes. And I said, thank you, sweetie. I said, you know, I got to tell you, I noticed the fact that you have complimented every person that comes up here, and I love that. And she said, what's wrong with wanting to make somebody smile in their day? And I said, you know what? You're absolutely right. I said, I love that attitude about you. I said, you are beautiful. And she was like, oh, thank you so much. She was like, you know, like, I just try. And that's it. We just try a little bit harder. We don't have to be assholes to everybody. Just try a little bit harder to be nice, you know? If we each of us put a little bit more good out there into the world, a little bit more positivity, a little bit more compassion, humor. Humor's so important to put out there, you know? If we just put a little bit more humor out there in the world, make somebody laugh. I get so many messages from people saying that they're in doctor's offices and hospitals. I really do. I get so many, and people are like, I'm in the hospital today with my mom, or I'm in the doctor's office, I'm getting all these tests done, and I'm watching your videos, and you're cracking me up, and you're making me laugh, and you're making me smile. And you know what? Like, I love that. I love being part of that and being part of somebody's journey and being able to maybe make somebody smirk a little bit or laugh or be like, he is such an asshole. You know, like, I like that, you know? So let's try that tomorrow. Let's try to wake up and be a little kinder, be a little nicer, put a smile on somebody's face, right? All right, you guys, I love you, and I'll talk to you later.